What you're looking at is a pit full of chickens. There's water that carries the eggs they lay into hoppers, which convey those eggs into a dispenser, which fires the eggs, which then have a 1 in 16 chance of popping and turning into a chicken. And there are so many chickens in here, you can't see the eggs firing. However, when you see a chicken flash red, that means they got hit by an egg. And as it's happened multiple times while I've been talking, there's a lot of eggs being laid. Let's look at the redstone behind this machine. For this machine, I utilized the concept of a while loop, if you know any programming. While the dispenser has items inside, the contraption to my right will produce a signal which causes the dispenser to fire. Now let's go into more depth. The first thing attached to the dispenser is a comparator. The comparator outputs a signal if the inventory item next to it, in this case a dispenser, has anything in it. So when the dispenser has an egg in it, or anything for that matter, the comparator will light up and output signal. The repeater strengthens that signal and sends it to the block with the red torch. Now this contraption in its default state doesn't do anything because the red torch directly in the center of the screen powers on the redstone, keeping the contraption to my right from flickering. However, when the comparator turns on and that middle torch in the center of the screen turns off, the contraption to my right will flicker continuously, sending many output signals a second to the dispenser. So what that means is whenever an item goes into the dispenser, aka an egg, the comparator turns on, turning off the torch in the center, letting the contraption to the right flicker non-stop, causing the dispenser to fire. Once the dispenser has nothing left to fire, the comparator won't output a signal, the torch in the center of the screen will stay on, and the redstone to my right will be powered on and not flickering, and no lag is induced. Now, if the contraption to my right was let to run all day, it would produce a little bit of lag and a lot of annoying noise. So it's important that we don't just let this thing flicker non-stop. Additionally, sometimes the circuits can actually short out. So you have to have this device in the center which keeps the device on the right from flickering non-stop. Otherwise it might just stop working completely. The cool thing about this design is that since it's so simple, it can't break. No matter how many eggs are laid, even if you threw stacks and stacks of cobblestone, for example, into the pit, the device would never break. It would just keep firing and firing and firing, but it would never break. Previous designs that I've used could get overloaded with too many items, get out of sync, and just stop working. But this one, it just uses one simple while loop. While there are things in the dispenser, fire. When there are no longer things in the dispenser, stop firing. There's a very simple concept to make a foolproof design which results in a splendid pit of chickens. Yep, up to my head in chickens.